Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collective podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Oh, and everyone's the wrong size. Hold on. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to TFYLP. Anna, you're like huge. What did it do? Okay. Yeah. All right. Rick, you're normal size. Swift, I got you normal size. I'm kind of normal size. And it's just like Gigantamax. We've got Titan Scale Anna in the chat here. All
Bigger
right,
than the stream.
Yes. Okay, everyone. Well, good evening. Welcome to TFYLP. My name is Phil. Lucas cannot join us tonight because he didn't know you had to pay taxes. And so he's doing his taxes for the last 7 years tonight. So good luck to him on that if he's listening. I am joined by Optimus Primal.
What's up?
Optimus Primal, thank you for coming from South America to join us tonight. I know this is a bit of a coup for us as a podcast that we were able to get you on. Well before the movie's released. So thank you very much. On top of Optimus Primal and myself, we've got Rick. Rick, you don't have your mic on?
I'm going to be Truck if he's going to be Monkey.
Okay, you can be Truck while Swift is Monkey. And Anna, because you always complain about going last, I picked you last. So Anna is also joining us.
Welcome to Beasttown, USA.
Yes. So this is episode 6794 or something like that. And tonight we're going to do our recap of DairyCon. So I had a great weekend at DairyCon. It was fun. Got some really cool vintage G1 Bumblebee Pretender and G1 Jazz Pretender classes.
Were they promoting BotCon at the show?
Were they promoting? I did not see any BotCon promotions at DairyCon. No, DairyCon is its own little world, and they're happy with that. No, DairyCon antics aside. We've got a show tonight talking about toys.
I actually want to know. I want to know if you got any DairyCon exclusives.
I did not register early enough to get any DairyCon exclusives. And then I was busy running my booth to do any of the raffles and stuff. So
DairyCon exclusives are so silly.
I know. One of them was a Pet Rock Lord.
So
man,
you got,
like, the little cardboard box that Pet Rock used to come in, and it said Pet Rock Lord, and there was just, I believe, just rocks inside. Then there was a repaint of a Bumblebee into like a really deep colored purple that looked pretty cool, and a Warpath repaint. And they were doing I think a South Cross theme this year.
I saw that.
2. Yeah, Moobase 2 was their shtick this year. So, no, it's DairyCon's my second time doing it. It's a fun weekend. It's not too far of a drive for me to go up into the great, white north, and just hang out with the cow people and buy and sell some toys. But buying and selling toys is just part of what we do. We also talk about toys, and we're going to talk about toys that turn into cars and turn into trucks and turn into apes and cheetahs and falcons and rhinos and all kinds of things, because we're talking about Rise of the Beasts. And so Anna's rising her beast in front of the camera there. I don't think we've got a doggy toy in this line yet, but who knows?
There needs to be a Lhasa Apso Transformer. It'd be great.
Yes.
Is that your Beast Alliance character, Anna?
That's right. She transforms into my weapon.
Yes. Anna puts the dog on
her sonic
head
scream
and becomes her armor. So yeah.
Not quite kitty ears, but it'd be great.
These toys are hitting shelves. Some have been out for a couple weeks now. Some of the Studio Series stuff have been out for a little bit. we started to see Walmarts getting just swarmed with end caps and displays of all this stuff in the past 7-8 days. So we've got some big Beast fans here on the show to talk about it.
Well, before we get into it, I had a revelation today that every movie, the toy line changes. Sometimes, we had movie 1, it was a really big toy line. Movie 2, even bigger toy line, a lot more, subsets. Movie 3 starts to go down. Movie 4, and then do we even get movie 5 toys? I'm not sure. Revenge of the Beast Wars seems to be very much in the vein of the first movie, where we had
tons and tons of toys.
Yeah, we've got Robot Masters, we've got Smash and Grab, we've got Wobbles, we've got Weebles, they're not falling down. There's all these different toys. There's Beast Alliance, there's Beast Hormones, there's Beast Factory, there's Beast Function Alpha, there's Beast Mech. So there's all these different little subsets. And then there's also the main line, which is not the main line anymore. What we used to call the main line. It's just, a different subset. So
yeah, there's a lot. There's just a lot of things out there right now, and a lot of repetition, right? You don't see that in our usual collector's lines. But in this, there's how many Optimus Primals and Optimus Primes are on the shelf right now at one time, right? There's one at every size class.
Right. So there's the Titan Optimus, there's the Beast Alliance Optimus, there's a small Beast Alliance Optimus, there's the Voyager Optimus, there's the Smash Optimus, there's the Mask Optimus, there's the Optimus that turns into the other Optimus. So
there's the Nerf gun
there's
Optimus.
There's a Nerf gun Optimus in evergreen packaging. So there's lots of different, characters. It's the same for movie 1. We had the same characters across every single, iteration of the toy. So that I just want to, before we get into it, that's one of the 2 things I needed to get off my chest today. It was a major observation. And the second thing.
Yeah, no, it's a huge scope. For someone like you who collects everything, it is a huge scope.
So should I mention what we talked about the other day, Anna?
If you want to, it's semi-personal.
So, hi, Maddie. Do you want to come say hi? All right. Hi, Maddie. You don't have to be nice to her. It's fine. So.
Hi to everybody.
I went to Walmart and I found the end cap display, started loading up my cart, and I get to the cashier, and she starts scanning in the toys. And I get, I got to get 2 of everything, 1 to open, 1 to keep sealed. And she goes, doot, 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 doot. Oh, good Lord. Doot. Oh, doot. Oh, Lordy. Doot. And it's like $300, $400, $500, $600. And I felt like, no matter who you are, that's a lot of money, right? That's $600 is a lot of money to anybody. And I'm trying to be quiet in case my wife's still awake. So, if it hadn't been for the fact that I had other items in my cart that I needed, I think I would have just walked away. I think I would have been like, nope. Yep, I walk away.
Was it the realization of the number or the embarrassment of the way the cashier was treating you?
More of the realization that hyper self-awareness that I am consuming a large amount of products that nobody really needs in a world where there's so many people that go without. And this is a Walmart employee who this person may be on food stamps because they're a Walmart employee. You know, this person may have, you know, real life struggles because they're only making $16 an hour. So, you know, it kind of just like hit me that, you know, I'm spending a lot of money just buying plastic.
Yeah.
And
I thought about that too several times throughout my collecting. It's just like, if I donated all this, my life wouldn't really, if I had donated all this money and so spending it on toys over the years, my life wouldn't really be any worse, but someone else's would be a lot better. And it's just kind of like, man, that feels gross to think about.
potentially, I mean, you know, when I moved to this house, it took 4 moving trucks. I had 2 48-foot long moving trucks just for toys, 2 26-foot long moving trucks. Half of that 26-foot long truck was for my display cases. Truck and a half was for the house, which, you know, there's 5 people in my household. So, and my collection's just like, you know, in the 8 years I've lived in this house, it's just like exponentially grown. So, yeah, I'm in my forever home, whether I want to be or not, because I don't think there's an ability for me to even move my collection at this point.
You buried yourself in toys.
That's what it's going to say on my...
You're about to have an entire moving truck of just movie 7 toys.
I'm pretty sure there's a whole truck of just Armada variants and movie 1 variants.
So let's kind of pause on something that's unique to this movie, and that is the fact that the release date got pushed back so hard, and that we were all speculating on this podcast that, like, we're going to see this stuff come out sometime in 2022. They're not going to be able to hold back in a warehouse all of this Rise of the Beast stuff till 2023, and that's what's happened. So yeah, Rick, you're buying you know, someone's paycheck worth of toys in one setting, and you're talking about the idea that you know, there are so many toys and so many like size classes of all these different characters at the same time, but we're getting a year's worth of releases kind of all at once. So this is unusual from that perspective.
Well, remember, with any toy line that's attached to a big movie, you're going to get the first 3 waves at launch. That didn't happen here. We pretty much got wave 1 of everything, but there's just such a diversification of it.
There is.
I
do wonder how much more there will be. Like, how long will this toy line go? Because this is something that Christian and Lucas like to bring up a lot. Was this toy line ever announced at any of their events? Or did it just kind of happen?
Not a whole lot of it was shown at publicity events. And that's probably because
that's what I thought.
You know, can't spoil the movie, or, you know, we don't want to give too much away.
Also, the level of the toys, right? I think they showed some of the Studio Series stuff, right?
Yeah.
In one of the... Okay. So, like, the level of the toys just aren't what they would usually show, right? They're not usually showing off $6 kid grab toys. Not like they're already in this line.
But they kind of stuff like
$12 kid grab toys.
You know?
Yeah.
They should have showed that off. It is amazing.
But like the mask that Swift was wearing, that's a mask of Optimus Primal's face that turns into a robot. That is something that would have been shown off pretty prominently at New York Toy Fair, and we have not had New York Toy Fair since COVID.
That's true.
So these are all toys that, you're right, Anna, would not be shown off in a collector's live stream, but would have been shown off in a you know, purchaser's event like New York Toy Fair.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
it would have been shown off there.
Yeah. But then I feel like some of the stuff like this guy, it's getting about like as much advertisement as like Cyberverse toys get, where they don't really get it.
Yeah.
And they're sort of just taking its place, but it's just got movie. You know, it's tied to the movie, but it's filling a space that Cyberverse used to fill.
Let me pause. We are saying it doesn't get advertising because we're not watching the places where it does get advertising. And where it does get advertising is
You're right about that.
Nickelodeon. Like when my son is watching, Paw Patrol and the commercial breaks come on, I see ads for Cyberverse toys.
That's true. I bet there'll be ads for Beast Town toys as well, if they're not already out there. So where do we want to start with this line? Do we want to just go through everything we have so far? Because my proposal for the show is just we talk about the Beast Town USA toy line so far. We talk about if we like it, if we hate it, what's good, what's bad. We just have some fun with it since it's new, and at least two of you have quite a bit of it. I only have a little.
Well, I have a burning question inside me for Swifty, who I haven't seen in quite some time. I mean, you're a huge Beast Wars fan, as am I. The question is, how do you feel about the bastardization of Beast characters to be basically armor for a vehicle character?
I mean, so far, they haven't named any of them after actual Beast Wars characters.
No, but I mean, Beast, animal transformer. There's no Beast Alliance where it's like Cheetor and you put a Bumblebee armor on him. You sit Bumblebee on his head.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously for the main audience coming into this, they are most likely Bumblebee fans who are now being introduced to Beast Wars, and then a bunch of people who grew up in the 90s that remember Beast Wars as well. I mean, I personally am okay with the way they've been treating that, because I've come up with little tricks in my head of not having to buy those characters because they didn't name them after Beast Wars characters. Like, if they would have named him Wolfang, I'd had to buy RC. But because they named it Saber whatever, I don't have to buy them.
So Scorponok, you will get.
Scorponok, I think I will get, because I think they're sort of making him look like Beast Wars Scorponok and not like Movie 1 Scorponok. If he came out and he looked like Movie 1 Scorponok, I wouldn't care. But I didn't feel the need to buy Skullcruncher's little cannon because, well, one, he's a Decepticon, and he's not named after any Beast Wars characters. I got Skullcruncher with this guy because he came with Optimus Primal, but anything to save me money, because like you said, there's like a billion toys coming out for this movie. Like, I think there are already like 7 Optimus Primals you can get.
Okay. Not what I was expecting as an answer. So, Anna, why don't you pick a subsection and we'll dissect?
Well, I only have 2 subsections for myself to actually go over. So we'll just start with what I have, and then I'll be quiet for the rest of the show. So what I'm really excited about this whole toy line is new Battle Masters. I'm really excited for the fact that we're getting not only more Battle Masters that go with, they go with all your other Transformers toys because of their ports. They just are weapons they can hold. Not only are we getting more, we're getting new molds. Not only are we getting new molds, we're getting, I would wager, objectively better molds. Like, I just think these beast-based weaponizers are actually not weaponizers. I always want to call them weaponizers because they're weapons. Battle Masters.
It's very
beast-based.
Bad. They named them poorly.
Because Target Masters made sense, but then Battle Masters, it's like everything about Transformers is battle. Anyway, I think these are much better than the ones that we got in Siege. So we can start with these guys if y'all don't mind.
So I've seen a few of those just ripped out of the package and the cardboard left behind.
Yeah. They're real, like, it would not... I'm someone who has a very hard time putting a lot of force on things, so to me it seems like they would be hard to rip out, but I imagine someone who doesn't mind a little brute force could just be like, yoink, they rip it out. Because they're not really secured very well.
Yeah, I remember when I was opening Cheetor in particular, I was like, I didn't really need to remove the tie tying him in.
Yeah, I think I wiggled mine out without breaking the ties.
And I was
like
like,
to do that when I can.
I anticipate a lot of theft.
Yeah, as I said, I've already seen, one missing from the package. So, luckily I noticed it, or I would have bought an empty package.
Ooh. And then you'd have the embarrassment of going to the return lane and being like, I bought this and it was empty.
Hey, I'm a 40-year-old man who didn't realize a toy's missing, and I'm a toy collector.
This is open face packaging where you can see the figure, but for some reason I thought it was okay that it wasn't there.
Yeah, and she's like, sir, what's that in your pocket? Is that the toy? Oh, no. That's the Japanese version of the toy. It's got different decos.
The real question is if you did return it because you accidentally bought it when it was removed, if Walmart would then hang it back on the shelf.
Probably.
So I've run into this problem where I buy something and then I just leave it alone and I don't open it. And then I go and I buy another one because I got to have two. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, crap, I've got 3 or 4 of these. So I went to Target the other day, and I'll give them a lot of credit. This person at the register, she looked up and down. She made sure the tape wasn't cut. She looked around. She was really examining it before she took it back. So
That's nice.
Kudos to them.
So yeah, if you guys don't mind talking about these ones, do you have any of Easton USA yet, or have you not indulged?
I bought the Buzzworthy 3-pack that I then broke apart and sold.
Okay. Oh, I see. You're a villain.
I like that Rhinox just kind of spreads his cheeks, and there's a Gatling gun.
Yeah, there's someone in our Discord posted a meme or something like that where it was the scene from where he turns around to fart in the cartoon, and it's just he transforms into a Gatling gun
instead of farting.
I was so Anna would know this because she's in the Discord. I did not plan on buying these because I thought they had different names, like all the armor bits for the other guys, and then I was like, oh no, they're coming out because they revealed Optimus Primal is gonna be a gun because obviously there'll probably be an Air Razor at some point that I have to buy too, but they revealed that and I was like, oh, I gotta get this one because his name is Optimus Primal. Well, at least I didn't have to get the Cheetah and the Rhino because it wasn't named Cheetah or Rhinox, and I was like, they are named Cheetah or Rhinox. What are you talking about? So I have
Rhinox.
Rhinox is definitely of the two, he's kind of the strangest but the best in a way because you can actually use him as a gun. Cheetor is designed to be Optimus Prime's swords that comes out from under his wrists. And so he can't be held like a sword by most normal Transformers because of the way his handle, his peg is on the toy. It's sort of to mount it underneath an arm instead of hold it as a weapon. So it's kind of a weird design. It's still kind of a little fun toy. I mean, I don't have any of the other Battle Masters, so I can't really compare. But they're fun little toys to just have sitting on the desk to play with. I mean, I'm not entirely sure why Cheetor has opposable front feet.
Nothing makes sense. It doesn't matter.
Because it's not there for transformation. It's not
there. No, they're just there.
They
don't really add anything, and they don't take anything away either. They're just there.
It's like
he can stand up and clap.
Boots. Yeah, he just has some boots.
You can put him in a man mode, right? And you can give him his head like that, and then you can have him put his hands together and clap. That's what they're there for. So you can be a clappy kitty. Like, yay!
I'm in a movie.
Yeah, of course, my favorite the problem with that where he just so. But you know,
isn't it amazing that we're getting so many of the Beast Wars characters in one film, yet we still have never gotten Ultra Magnus in a film.
I guess that's the point. Yeah.
So 7 movies in, it's the Beast Wars. Where's Ultra Magnus?
No Ultra Magnus.
I mean, he probably would have 2 lines. He would die.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten a Hot Rod, but it's not anyone that I really want or would buy. And I love Hot Rod. Rodimus, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, the guy we got is not the Hot Rod that we normally get.
Right. There's Hot Rod and there's French Hot Rod.
Yeah.
I thought he was somewhat interesting, like the French Hot Rod. Like, I would have almost preferred him as a new character. But to be completely honest, I would prefer all of these as new characters because I hate the name reuse in Transformers. I love the fact that the wolf can ride the motorcycle, though. That is fantastic and highly approved.
And see, like, if I could go and talk to a Hasbro, if I could go back in time and talk to a Hasbro person and be like, if you want my money, you need to give him a Beast Wars name, they would have gotten so much more money.
From you. So right.
They literally would have gotten $20 more.
From me directly. $20 more.
Because when I look at...
Yeah, but $20 more compounded to every figure that they come out in this entire line. Eventually, they would have milked me for like $3,000, $4,000, $10,000. Who knows? Who knows how much product they're coming out with?
Because when I look at the... I don't want to jump ahead, but when I look at the Arrow stripe, I just see Tigatron, right? Like...
Yeah, I was really surprised they didn't call him
They could have just named that Tigatron, and it would have been fine.
Now, he's coming with an Optimus, so I'll get it. But yeah, that's like they just revealed that Optimus Prime with the lion, what they call him, lion saber or something like that.
What's the over under on that being in the film?
I was like, if you would have just
There's so many.
None of these are going to be in the film.
Could it have been Snarl Saber? Isn't that a name they've already used? I mean, they want to go with Lion Saber. You might as well be Snarl Saber.
I don't know. A lot of those names seem to be new names.
They do.
I can't think of where they. I can't think of ever seeing them before. Like, they're not. It doesn't seem like they're just pulling them out anywhere.
Chain Claw's a reuse, right? Chain Claw was used on a.
That's a G1 character.
Okay.
A G1 character, yeah.
Well, and
I had the toy. Not a wolf, though.
I don't know. They're like, maybe some of those names are coming from like Creo movie combiners. I can't remember, but
I doubt Arrow Stripe is coming from anywhere because it's a really stupid name.
Yeah, that's a new one.
It is. But yeah, that was it was very weird because they've had a lot of Beast Wars characters over the last 3 years.
And are you saying Arrow Strike with a K or Stripe with a P?
Stripe.
Arrow Stripe. He's a bow and a tiger. So
okay, so stripes like tiger stripes. Okay. Yeah, that's lame. That's really.
It's a really dumb name.
Yeah.
So I really should have got all my Battle Masters out to compare them. When I got this guy, like, I have played with him a lot because he can stand up in man mode and I can make him run, I can make him clap, I can make him do silly stuff. He's just a fun little thing to play with.
I mean, it's basically a McDonald's toy.
It does feel a lot like an old McDonald's toy, especially like the Beast Wars McDonald's toys, since those were actually pretty good as far as toys go. It definitely feels like that. But I just want to give this thing, I don't know, the credit it deserves. Like, it has a good cheetah face sculpt. And I feel like all of the Battle Masters from Siege were kind of like, sculpts, right? Like, they were okay. They did what they were supposed to. Lionizer flipped around, was a sword, but it wasn't a particularly beautiful looking sculpt. The only mistake they made with this thing was making it held like a gun, so it just doesn't make any sense. But like Michael said, it's supposed to be the claws, whatever. That's fine, but most of your toys can't actually interact with this thing correctly, and that's kind of a bummer. Ooh, you can also give it like this weird mode where it has 4 legs, and it's kind of like I don't know, it feels like it's out of Silent Hill or something.
That's the Cybertron mode.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There's a Gamera kaiju villain that was like a just blade-headed monster. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, this is the mode it's going on my shelf with.
Yeah. And he had like shurikens that would fire off the sides of his head. Yeah.
Was that the one that was that Baragon?
It might be.
No.
He had like sort of like a beak mouth, and he walked around like on all fours. He could stand up, but he had very stumpy legs, and the blade faced the other direction than Cheetor's blade there does.
Yeah. I think there's also an Ultraman kaiju that's
right. Yeah. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I just can't think of it. I keep thinking Gigan for some reason, but it's not Gigan.
To the interwebs.
So all Rhinox can do is pray or clap his hands or rub his fingers together like he's up to something. One or the other. He doesn't have
He is always up to
Cheetor
something.
does. It's true.
It's right
demon.
So how
Even
long
the whole
before
time
we
we
get
don't even
a
know.
Shattered Glass repaint?
A Rhinox?
Oh, which one?
We haven't gotten any Shattered Glass repaints other than Optimus Primal. So I think this line, I think this line is ripe.
It really is.
I think we're gonna get some buzzworthy Bumblebee Cheetors, and
we'll see. I have been asking for a Predacon Rhinox since the Thrilling 30 Rhinox. Like, where is my Predacon Rhinox? So I think it'll never come because I've been asking for it for 15 years now, or whatever it is.
Headmaster Don got his Headmaster RC, so dreams do
after
come
a billion
true.
years. And then they're spoiled by being crappy. Yeah, that looks just like it.
Yeah, Gyron.
Cheetor, you could do that, buddy. Lay your back legs down and then look like an idiot. Perfect.
I think you just opened up Hasbro to a lawsuit from Toho.
I think you actually opened up Anna to a lawsuit because Hasbro would have never endorsed that.
Yeah,
only I would.
Anna's fan mode, I don't think will put Hasbro in too much legal trouble.
I like the Rhinox a lot too. He's cool, but he's just not as fun to play with as the Cheetor. I do love the fact they did a completely different transformation, right? You open his ass up, and then he's got this giant Gatling gun in the middle. You pull it all the way back, and you fold it together.
I don't know why the Gatling gun just comes out.
Yeah, I don't like that either. The Gatling gun is a separate piece. It's not attached by glue or anything else.
Yeah, like some glue in there would have been really, really nice. But it is what it is. I was like, when I first opened it, it immediately fell out, and I was like, what in the world?
I guess if there's anywhere this could plug in on another toy, you could actually close Rhinox back up and have him back in his Rhino mode. And you could attach that Gatling gun to another figure. So maybe there'll be some sort of crossplay later. I'm just dreaming here. Maybe. It's probably not going to happen. It's probably just a lazy place where they didn't put tape or glue.
So Swift, you said that the Cheetor is designed to be Optimus's, not Primal, but Optimus Prime's swords.
I believe that's kind of like, if you look at it, it's very reminiscent of the swords that he deploys from underneath his. I think not exactly, not 100%, but I definitely think they were inspired as having it as underarm swords.
No,
or swords that deploy from the arms instead of a held like cutlass or something like that, which I think is why it has the peg there instead of having it to where it can hold it as a sword.
Yeah, I have
and
attached
then the
it
only
to
problem
people's
there
wrist,
is,
and it's not terrible.
Yeah. I think the only problem there is like none of the figures that I have so far have a place that is actually like underneath the wrist instead of being on the side of the arm or something like that. So it kind of just looks goofy, but with bigger figures it might look fine.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment there. I mean, until you mentioned it, I hadn't thought of that, but once you said it, it's like, yeah, I can't unsee it. Do these other battle masters look like they are supposed to coordinate as well as Cheetor does?
I don't feel like Rhinox is meant to be anything, right?
I don't think so.
Himself
I think they're just like.
I think he's just going to be a fun Gatling gun to put on your regular size Rhinox.
Yeah.
He's a Rhinox.
I heard you like Rhinox, so
he's
put Rhinox on your
Rhinox. Rhinox has Gatling guns. You turn Rhinox into a Gatling gun.
I do like
that. Was that a rhinoceros pun? I heard.
These are releasing with themselves. So, like, there will be a new Cheetor toy that can hold Cheetor claws. You can get a new Cheetor, 2 Cheetor claws, and he can hold them. That's fun. You can have a Rhinox that holds 2 big Rhinox Gatling guns if you wanted to. It's all fun. Like, that's just it's amusing. Not everyone's going to do that, right? Some people are just going to turn it into a cat and put it on the shelf forever, or turn it into a cat and throw it in the garbage disposal. I don't know. But I'm going to play with these things. They're fun. They're just toys.
I feel like because I've known a lot of collectors over the years who just like really crave all their figures having actual weapons. Because I know there was a time there where sometimes toys just didn't come with weapons. Yeah. And I feel like they have to be having a lot of fun with these coming out and just buying a bunch of them to attach different figures. But I'm one and done on these guys. I have one Cheetor that turns into a sword. It's the last Cheetor that turns into a sword until I need until they change it slightly.
What if they release it as Shadow Panther?
Then I have to buy it. You know how it goes.
Will you be chasing all the magazine exclusive repaints of these?
Oh, no. I don't envy any of the Micron guys. They can have fun with that insanity.
Yeah, I hear that. That's insanity.
Anna, what I want to see is you to get 2 of these Cheetors and attach them to Cat Ears Bumblebee, and that just be your ultimate kitty cosplay toy right there.
I cannot. I keep seeing Kitty Ears Bumblebee in the store, and that thing's $25. I just can't get myself to pay that for such a simple little figure.
Yeah, right, just wait 2 weeks. It'll be a clearance.
Yeah.
If it hits clearance, I might get it just because it's so. I don't know. It's so cute. Such a cute little thing.
They called it Cheetor.
Then you would have bought it. If they called it Kitty Ears Bumblebee, I would have paid full price though. It's the names that matter, right? It's gonna make you laugh.
I don't like the cutesy stuff in my Transformers, but I think there's a place for Kitty Ears Bumblebee.
Oh, there's a place in everyone's heart for Kitty Ears Bumblebee. Rick, I don't think Michael did, but did you get Beast Mode Optimus yet?
The one with the lion in it?
The idiotic lion in his chest?
No, I did not get that yet.
That is like the one figure from this whole collection that I really like. I feel a need for from an idiocy perspective. It's so stupid because it's just like a simple, huge Optimus where he chest bursters out a lion face, right?
Are we expecting this in the film? Is that the big thing that he's gonna shoot a lion out of his chest?
I think right now we're dealing with a bunch of lines that exist only to be fun toys. Like none of the concepts are ever going to show up. Like, except for maybe, I don't know, maybe there'll be some scene where Optimus Prime just has like his like a spirit of a lion just moves across the screen as he does something. Like he channels his inner lion.
Beast Mode Optimus is the one I could see actually make it into the movie where it's like they unite together. He gets beast power, and maybe like it flashes up a lion, and then he like turns gold and fights or something.
Right.
I
And
can see
Optimus
something like
Primal
that
turns
happening.
red.
I mean, so there's
Sure.
obviously going to be some. Yeah, exactly. There's obviously going to be some like time stuff with this, right? Because it's Beast Wars, and Beast Wars always has time stuff, which is how it works. So maybe like they're gonna go. Maybe someone on the team watched the Beast Wars second movie. You know, the Beast Wars 2 movie with Majin Zarek, and where Primal and Lio Convoy, went Flash Lio and Burning Convoy, and maybe at some point they're gonna summon like Lio Convoy and a bunch of other primes, and they're just gonna do a Marvel attack at the end.
Council of Primes, and all the different primes show animated primes there. Cybertron,
From all
Energon
timelines.
Primes there. G1 Prime shows up, and he's all like, "My knees can bend," and and it's gonna be like, "You and what army?" He's like, "Me and all of me."
Exactly. It's going to be like all of it. It's just duplicating them across infinite timelines.
And I
Well,
love
don't
all these
forget-
plots we come up with, but we all know what's really going to happen is they're going to meet the Beast Wars. They're all going to get one line each. Half of them are going to die. Primal and Optimus are going to fight a bad thing together, and the movie will be over.
Oh,
We all know it's going
I'm
to be crap like that.
yeah, I'm fully expecting for Air Razor and Cheetor and Rhinox to have one line. In fact, Rhinox isn't going to even talk.
No, he's going to roar and breathe fire a few times, and he's going to go a few and stuff like that, right? And
Absolutely.
and he's probably going to die
Probably.
because he's the biggest guy, right?
He looks like that. The
Air Razor's going to get split in half. I'm just saying. Final battle, Air Razor.
you don't
split
think
in
she's
half.
going to find some kind of white tiger and merge with him?
Probably not.
Maybe she'll fight Arrow Stripe and become an archer.
I totally forgot that Michelle Yeoh is doing the voice of Air Razor, because I was just like, none of these guys are going to talk. None of these guys are going to talk. They're just Dinobots.
I mean,
Rhinox has the credit too.
until we saw the trailer, I wasn't convinced any of them were going to transform.
Neither was
So,
I thought they might
They're
just
already beating my expectations by them just transforming.
I thought it was
So-
going to be like Ravage, where it's just like they're just animals in this version, which would have been okay. Like they're allowed to do different things. It would have been a little disappointing, but would have been all right.
Yeah, I think
Did he transform though?
Optimus would make transforming him being the only one that transforms would make sense in the Bay verse of things. I really don't know how much screen time the other guys are going to get. I wouldn't even be surprised if Pablo Honey has any lines.
That's what he calls Wheeljack. Dear viewers, I'm sorry.
You mean
So-
Urkeltron?
Yeah, and I don't think I doubt any of the Decepticons are going to have lines besides Scourge.
I mean, yeah, Scourge will.
Scourge. And,
Nightbird will probably have a few.
no,
Right.
because it's a woman. No, you'll have
Battle Trap will have like grunting noises.
Yeah, Battle Trap will have like one or two lines because he has to communicate with Scourge.
Yeah.
None of the other guys.
He'll have a few lines. He'll probably be like the first Decepticon to die, and he'll probably die early, to prove the point that they can die.
Oh, and you're right. And Viper won't. What's her name? The girl car.
Nightbird?
Nightbird.
Yes, she won't die because it's a woman. You can't kill a woman.
Eraser's going to get cut in half. So
No,
since
the
Prophet
films are
Michael-
very politically correct. If you look at the trend of all the Transformers films, they're all diverse and politically correct, and therefore
What's politically correct about women not dying? We're mortal.
no, they can't do that. I mean, look at
No, they killed Alice.
They did, yeah.
Well, I was waiting for someone to bring up the twins when I said politically correct, but
Oh, well,
I'm gonna bring up the least politically correct. Like,
I'm not going to bring up the twins or Drift right now because I'm good without that kind of stuff until we get to this movie and they do something else.
yeah, we'll see what they do in this one. I mean, Bumblebee did a good job.
What
so
fun racial
maybe,
stereotypes could they use this time?
I think my worry here about this movie is more they've gone back to too many characters, and they're just not going to be able to make them interesting. But we'll see how it goes.
There's a lot of characters.
Choice. So you have that Optimus. I have that Optimus coming from Amazon. I didn't find him anywhere.
Mine took
so
2 days more from Amazon than it was supposed to. I was supposed to have it on Saturday.
Yeah.
It came Monday.
Yeah, I haven't gotten him yet. I have that in like the battle, like the large, weird, like one-step Transformer Optimus coming as well.
Mine don't work. My Smash bots.
Oh no, that's not fun.
And they don't really work. They keep getting caught.
That's a bummer. Those things are kind of amusing.
Man, just articulation in all these lines is taking a huge nosedive too.
So these
guys, we're coming back to this is like the ages 6 to 10 lines.
Yeah, these are definitely safer kid lines.
Like that 3-pack. Well, I mean, you can, but like that 3-pack that came out in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line, we know that they're getting single packed. And there's that Optimus that we've seen that's coming out. So we know there's like a higher end line that's between that and the Studio Series line. But I think those have been kind of sparse. They haven't, right? But these are definitely the 6 to 10 line, and there's a bazillion products. None of them are complex. None of them have, particularly amazing articulation. Like this guy could be, and we'll get to mention it, but this guy could be like 2 times better if he just had elbows.
Yeah, those guys losing elbows was a bummer. So these are the 2-packs where they come with 1 Battle Master and 1 figure. I don't even know. These are Beast Alliance of some sort, but they're figures. So this is a 2-pack that's out there right now. Now, the kind of trick that Christian kind of told me about is that there's confirmation that the Cheetor and the Rhinox and the Gator Face are coming out in 2-packs in the next wave. Mm-hmm. So the question is...
Yeah, we've seen the one with RC already, like
right.
RC with Cheetor.
So will this guy, Aerostripe, and this little friend Chain Claw that currently come with an Optimus of your favorite flavor, will these guys come out in 1-packs in the next wave? Because if they do, you're getting a much better value from paying $5.99 for one of these guys that's compatible with all your other toys than paying $16 or $17 for one that comes with one of these guys. Because these guys are minimal, right? Like they're not as bad as the people who wear the armors. So the ones that wear the armors have no elbows and are very, they're not very good. But these guys are also pretty minimal. Like the Primal barely transforms. All he does is you flip. Oh god, it's always hard to get a hold of my finger now. You flip his chest out. You put it back in. You flip his feet around. Damn, it's a gorilla now. Totally.
Hey, I'm surprised that you flip his feet around because I was the impression that you just turned his chest.
Onto his arms. So the problem he has
Next.
The transforms into a little truck, right? Like not a big truck, but he transforms into a little truck. He's got decent articulation for the price point. You know, this is if you subtract that price of the animal for it, I think it's a $10 figure. He's got enough articulation that you can do stuff. He can turn his chest, whatever, and he transforms into a marginally okay truck that isn't offensive. So, like, these guys don't have to be bad. The primal is pretty bad. The is okay. So these are kind of like the, you know, they are definitely targeted. Or they're targeted that they can play on people. Because I am obsessed with Battle Masters, and I've been the target a whole Battle Masters came out and says, but those now, I had to have these two. I didn't want to take a chance on them not getting released in another way. So here I have a crappy Optimus Prime and a crappy Optimus Primal.
I feel that,
They're not that bad.
You know, getting a crappy Optimus Prime is just par for the course now.
It's not that bad, right? Like if you were to paint his headlights and do a little detail work on it, it'd be okay.
Then
Optimus
again,
head looking at you.
like that Optimus, it's kind of on par with like the Generations, the Chug Optimus that came with the Tommy gun. Like the very first one, the skinny one that came in the Megatron Optimus 2-pack.
Okay. Yeah, this the one where his waist joint would get loose after 10 minutes, so he would just spin it then. Yeah. Spin twin Optimus. I remember him. Yeah, he's a lot like that. This is worse than that. That is definitely a much nicer looking toy. But again, this is a freebie with an overpriced Battle Master, right? This is a $17 Battle Master, and this is a free pack-in figure. I'm a little bummed because it seems like the feed is cut out, because I've really just got to the main course right here, Chain Claw.
Yeah, apparently we've been having
so good
video issues the entire time, and no one was really telling me. I thought that was just on my side. The audio was messing up, but now it's better. So Chain Claw, he's a wolf.
Yeah, Chain Claw is a wolf, right? And he's a cool-looking little blue and silver wolf. I think he has like a nice look to him. But what makes me so happy about him is you flip him out, and his handle, he's got Cheetor issues where his handle's in a stupid spot. But his treasure is the ass chainsaw. He is amazing.
Well, I mean, at least
comes out
it makes a little more sense for a chainsaw to be held like that. So
yeah, a little more, right? Like you have to hold it. The only problem with him is that not only do you have the handle that hold like a gun, it's also kind of obstructed.
Yeah, because the feet.
These.
Well, and I find a lot of these don't have very good. Like the hands aren't designed to really hold things from underneath.
No.
Like they hold things better from above.
Yeah.
So it makes this one thing that makes Cheetor, and I'm sure makes that figure kind of weird.
Yeah, because he's definitely pointing a chainsaw gun at you. It's a little weird. But it's still fun. It's an ass chainsaw, and no one watches the same horrible movies I do, but
we all know Chainsaw Man.
Well, that's good. You can pretend it's from that.
I mean, does his ass become a chainsaw, or is that his spine?
No, it's on his butt. Well, okay, yes, his spine is okay. Yeah, the chainsaw.
His spine chainsaw,
but it comes out of his
chest.
Yeah. He pooped out a chainsaw. It's chainsaw sound apparently.
Don't let your dogs.
Right?
Don't let your dogs eat your chainsaws, guys.
Don't poop about it. That's the last time. So it's no good.
You know, because they can ingest them just fine. It's when they poop it out is when the problem comes.
It's little.
It's like bubble gum or string.
I think that's probably the best one out of all the Beast Alliance, because that's the one I think people would have the most fun with. I'm more of a fan of things turning into melee weapons than just random blaster. So a character carrying 2 chainsaws. That's pretty good. That works.
It'd be cooler.
That's much different than what we've gotten throughout the entire line.
I always found
Optimus.
I don't know. I've always had a love-hate relationship with things like Target Masters and stuff like that. It makes more sense for like a sentient being to turn into a gun than into something that you're going to hit people with. Right? It seems counterproductive to their own survival. It's kind of like just like with the Power Core Combiner lines, they turned into armor. And I'm like, why would you want to turn into armor for somebody else? That seems like a really bad idea. But
I agree with that.
As a play feature, it's definitely more fun to be chainsaws
as a play feature
than to be a gun.
I don't think any character that turns into armor that's supposed to get hit would be in the show. Like, why waste the energy?
I mean, my headcanon for like these is Optimus Primal killed Skullcruncher and took his parts.
There's his armor. I like it. It's brutal.
And that's why he's got this down here. Like, right, he turned his upper jaw into a shield. He's the movies have established that you can kill somebody and wear their parts, and this is what Optimus Primal has done to Skullcruncher. He has killed him.
More.
What do you think the mentality is to release a Decepticon and a Maximal together and have them combined?
That's exactly what he just said. He just described it. That's what's going to happen in the film.
Besides, wear the skin of your enemies.
Imagine you're a 7-year-old kid. Justify it to a 7-year-old kid without using the word murder or kill.
Okay, justify all the horrific deaths in the Transformers movies. Bumblebee rips out Ravage's spine. Kids watch.
See, when I was 7, people got murdered in cartoons. So
fair enough.
I just sort of picture
I saw RoboCop shoot a guy in the dick.
So, I mean, like, I had like Harlequin in my TV shows and stuff like that, right? Like Black Arachnia and stuff like it was a different time back in the 90s.
A different time.
I just picture Primal taking Skullcruncher and just like doing the Bane thing of breaking him in half, but over Primal's own head. Just
and then wearing it onto him.
Like, oh, you're
that's exactly. That's my. So I was gonna when we got to these guys, so we might as well talk about them.
Yeah, because we have
spent one complaint.
I just want to say, I don't know if there's ever been a podcast not in our history or any other history that has spent so much time on Battle Masters as we have tonight.
Battle Masters are great. I didn't even get to show off on it. Look at this thing.
Is only part 1.
Look at it. Jeez.
Oh, kill me now.
I think my only complaint about these guys though is there's like an auto transforming feature to the guy. I just wish it was when you put it on them. Because I literally picture in my head exactly what Phil was saying of him just ripping him down and him just transforming onto him and turning into armor.
And this guy just magically has a helmet inside of him for Optimus Primal to wear.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jetfire magically turned into a pair of pants and a jetpack. For the jetpack, kind of makes sense, but for Optimus, but you know.
So this play pattern here, I don't know if they did before Cyberverse.
Some lovely stilettos for Optimus Prime.
But yeah, I saw this play pattern first with the Cyberverse toys, and so I got my son one that is Cheetor, and it's a good Cheetor toy from the Cyberverse line, and he comes with a battleship. Right. It was the same battleship I think that came with Bumblebee, and yeah, it's the same sort of thing where you like kind of attach it to his back, and then you sort of flip it around, and the auto transformation gimmick works, and like there's another Cheetor head, and he's got these big, I can't tell if they're supposed to be like new arms that he uses instead of his regular arms, or now he has 4 arms. But yeah,
I picture it like a power loader, like he's using it to like pick up big storage containers, right? That's Cheetor when he goes to do his dock worker job.
Yeah.
And he has to pick stuff up all day.
And then when like Black Arachnia is like fighting his teammates, he's like, "Get away from her, you bitch," and it's just a whole thing.
So it never occurred to me that these are interchangeable.
What?
Yeah.
But they are. It just never occurred to me. But unfortunately, they are.
What's unfortunate about that? You can wear your friend Zora out of these.
It does mean that they're gonna recolor them and just mix them up with other guys. I mean, we'll probably get a few other versions of them with just different names. Yeah. And
now it makes more sense that this is a Decepticon, right? Like I want a brown version of this Gator to be called Soundwave.
Okay.
I would unfortunately have to buy it, especially as a Predacon.
Do you think they'll do a silver, red, and blue one and make it Optimus Prime Gator?
Unfortunately, that's the Comic-Con exclusive.
Like that'll be like you put them on Primal, and it'll be like you'll have the Leo Prime and Optimus Prime 2-pack, and the Gator Optimus and Primal 2-pack.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Though they can't make that lion into Leo Prime because they've already given him a different name, and he's clearly supposed to be Leo Prime.
Yeah. So real quickly, was there any other size class that we got? We've got the Battle Masters, we've got these armor dudes, and so Rick, what do you got there?
This is the smash and grab Optimus that turns into Hound from the last night.
And this one's been out for like what, a year now? This is like one of the first, Rise of the Beast toys we got.
Right. It came out in the Cyberverse packaging, but now it comes out also in the Rise of the Beast Wars Armada packaging. So it's got a cool activation feature. Check this out.
Press it twice though.
My screen didn't freeze. That's it not working.
I thought you just had to press it twice so that you were like, doot, doot.
No, well, it's smashed. You're not smashing it. You're just pressing politely.
You can smash it, Rick. There you go. You smashed it.
That's the first time it's ever gotten that far.
You smashed it to have
it again, and it does nothing.
Spring-loaded gimmicks.
The goggles do nothing.
When they do work, when spring-loaded gimmicks work, they're really fun, and then you use them about 20 times, so they don't work anymore.
Yeah, the spring starts going bad. The power core combiners can't stand anymore.
Oh my goodness. Do you have a bunch of power core combiners too? I have them all, and some of them do not stand anymore.
I just repurchased them.
They're so cool.
Well, now he's stuck.
They're so good. Jeez. Optimus, we're so sorry.
Yeah, this Optimus turns into Hound from the last night.
There's a Primal that's one of those too, right?
Yeah.
That's the one I have coming.
Yeah, I haven't opened the Primal yet because I was so enamored with this that there we go.
The Smash and Suffer Transformer.
Smash and Suffer Transformers, yes. I like that name a lot.
You would think the Transformer was suffering because you were smashing it, but it's you suffering because it doesn't.
Everyone suffers. They're stuck halfway. You're sad. It's just...
the kids crying.
Hey, that is a very useful feature in the Transformers role-playing game. I can attest to that.
It's true.
Half transforming. It's amazing.
You played the entire last session half transformed.
Everything.
I got the Transformers cosplay role book the other day from Big Bad Toy Store, and it comes, wrapped in plastic, and I'm like, I will never open this because I will never cosplay or role play as a Transformer. And the fact that we have to have a rule book for it is just ridiculous.
You're missing out.
I think you're literally calling
animated lug nut.
You actually got me to pause for a second by literally calling tabletop role-playing games cosplay. Like, I call things the wrong things playfully all the time, but that just got me. It was like, what?
It's like mental cosplay, I guess.
But then we'd have to LARP. I'm not LARPing over the internet. That's weird.
Not the weirdest thing going on the internet, and I'll tell you that much.
LARP in real life, though, like really LARP their characters.
So there's also these guys. I don't remember what they're called.
Oh, they're the Beast Alliance.
Yeah, but what is the size class called? It's like
I think those are called Beast Alliance, and these are called Beast Alliance with Battlemaster. I think.
I thought they were just separated by price points because I was looking for the names too. Like, how do we separate these when we're talking about them tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't. I mean, I still have the packaging right here. Yeah, I guess it just says Beast Alliance.
Yeah. Okay, so those are Beast Alliance.
Oh, this is called a battle changer. Apparently.
Wait. What?
So this is called a battle changer. That's Rhinox battle changers.
They are you're right, they are battle changers.
These are apparently
battle changers.
Beast Combiner 2-packs. That was not as easy to read. And then there's the Battle Masters, but yeah, this guy is he's not great, but he's not bad either. Like, and I feel like that's been a lot of. I don't feel like any of these are horrific, other than I don't have the horrible, Smash and Suffer figure yet. So maybe that one will be the first toy that I'm like, this is actually a piece of garbage. But all of these have been very adequate toys.
That is an excellent
yeah,
way to
those
describe
look to be about
adequate. This is
those
an
look to be the
adequate toy
same
line for
quality as
children.
I think that too. Like, so let's say these were the only Transformers out. These are fun, right? These simple ones. They're fun to play with. They're easy to transform. They don't take a lot of time. They're cool to mess with on your desk. If this was all there was right now, they would still be fun to play with. It's just because we have greener pastures to compare them to with our collector's lines that they seem a little crappy.
Yeah, I mean, I think they are at a entry level better than where Cyberverse started.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because these are obviously toys made to be toys. They're toys not exactly made to even represent accurately what's going to be on screen. Like Optimus Primal does not look the same in the 7 iterations that he has so far.
Well, that brings me to Rhinox.
They're just there to be fun.
If he even transforms in the film, is he going to look like that? Because that's a pretty straight up Beast Wars Rhinox that we got.
Yeah, and I feel like have we seen another Rhinox so far? I feel like we have, maybe. Obviously not Gatling, but yeah, it's very much Rhinox.
The other Rhinox was Studio Series, right? They revealed that one. Was it Studio Series or was it Mainline? He's Voyager side.
I think it was Mainline.
Yeah. Okay.
And Mainline has been inconsistent, right? Like, because Mainline Optimus Primal kind of looks like Optimus Primal.
Right.
From what we've seen. But Mainline Cheetor, it looks nothing like Cheetor.
Mainline
and then we
Cheetor
Mainline
don't.
Air
looks
Razor
like
too.
Mainline Cheetor looks like Rise of the Beast. I'm sorry, Kingdom Cheetor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very much got
But
the
yeah,
same like transformation scheme, and then he's just like super stylized. He's kind of like his own guy, but he doesn't look anything like the linebacker that is studio series, right? And then we have no idea where we haven't seen Air Razor transform. We haven't seen Rhinox transform. I think maybe there was one scene that indicated that he transformed. Like he might have been transforming in the background. Now that I
I
think
think
about
so.
it, in the final fight scene, what we assume is the final fight scene. But yeah, like it's a very Rhinox looking robot mode, and I think the other one we've seen was very Rhinox looking robot mode. But I feel like that's not what it's going to look like in the movie. But who knows?
Studio Series
But this
Air
is a
Razor does look, again, that's the Studio Series is supposed to be what they're going to look like in the film, and I think she's got a look that is very reminiscent of the original toy, but just more realistic looking. I
Yeah,
was
I think
surprised with
she's
that toy where it's like kind of the same transformation pattern as what we got from Kingdom Air Razor.
yeah, she's very similar to Kingdom Air Razor, but she looks nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It's
passed one up in the store the other day, and I kind of regret not getting it just because I know it would be fun.
yeah. That's the one where I think it's unlike Cheetor, because Cheetor shares the same transformation scheme, but it's, from everything I can tell, it is not the same figure. It's not even like a heavy retool. It's just all new parts. It transforms the same, more or less. Air Razor, I can't tell if she shares any parts with Kingdom Air Razor.
I don't think so.
And if she doesn't, then it's just, I don't know what to call that. It's because it's 100% the same toy, but 0% the same parts. But it's like it's not like really a retool.
It's the same engineering.
It's like it's just the
It's
same
the same tool.
So it's like kind of a weird place because retools are usually, even the heavy retools, they share at least a base somewhere that it's exactly the same.
Like the thighs will be the same because that's like a part that no one's going to pay much attention to.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't seem to be anywhere near the same. I'm going to be interested to see if Air Razor transforms, how she looks. I don't get very female vibes from that figure, to be honest with you. Like that figure to me is like, this is the one that in Japan they turn into Tigatron's,
friend.
Yeah, special friend.
Yeah. What is it? A retainer or whatever? Not retainer, but whatever a samurai's trainer, underling is. But like that's when I look at that one, I'm like, yeah, in Japan they would cast a man to voice this character and not a female. But it's I don't know. We'll see where it goes, because the mainline one I think looks very female, but we already know Cheetor looks nothing like that, so I can't expect that Air Razor to look anything like what Air Razor looks like in the movie. So,
and the bird we see in the videos and the previews is definitely more similar to the Studio Series bird than it is to the mainline bird.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of crazy because when the first leaks we got of Air Razor were of what looks to be the mainline toy, and I was really impressed with that toy, and that was engineering that I had never seen before for a bird transformer. So that is a toy that I am looking forward to probably purchase.
If I see that by itself, I'll get it. I don't want it in a 3-pack, but I'll get it solo.
Exactly. So that is one that I'm probably the most excited for out of all the Rise of the Beast toys, is that mainline Air Razor.
Yeah, I'm actually her and Cheetor. I'm actually kind of excited for all of mainline. Like, even though especially the ones that aren't anything, they I don't even know what they're based on, but Hasbro just made them to make them, I guess. So Cheetor and Airazor, right? Like, well, yeah, but you wouldn't think you would line fill your main characters, but that Cheetor and Airazor I'm super interested in having just because they're so weird. And
to me, this is something that I've heard people talk about. We haven't gotten confirmation on, but it's the thought is that this is due to the delay of the movie. That, remember, normally when you get the first wave of movie toys, they don't quite look like how they do in the movie because they hadn't finished the movie yet. They hadn't finished all the exact looks and all the CGI stuff. So these mainline figures look like what we would have gotten out of the gate. And then like a year later, now we're going to get what it actually looks like in the Studio Series versions. But because the delay, same time, here you go.
Well, yeah, and I wonder how much they added to the release over that year. Like, how much of this stuff was planned from the start, or how much of this stuff there was like, well, we can transition into this stuff. Because at the time, if it would have came out a year ago, there was a lot more. Cyberverse was still on the shelf, and stuff like that. But it was kind of at the end of its life. But now these are coming out right alongside Earthspark.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so maybe these were planned to fill a time period where Cybertron was going, or Cyberverse was going away and Earthspark was coming, but
that's a very good observation.
Yeah. And I've also seen with other toy lines where, NECA with some of their toys had a giant drop of product at Target in a couple months. And like Rob has talked about, like going through a very similar experience to what you did, Rick, with NECA Ninja Turtle stuff. And it's just because like the shipping stuff we're still seeing delays from that. So it's like, all right, now all this stuff is finally arriving in US warehouses to be sent out at one time. And so, it's just quite likely a product of both the delay because of the movie and the delay due to logistics still being kind of jacked up.
But it seems to be a little inconsistent. Like my Walmart had a bunch of stuff, but it didn't have the end cap. Like everyone's getting the end cap. Mine didn't have that. They literally just spilled or filled different spots that were kind of empty going down the toy aisle. So I literally found this at the end near like the Power Rangers, but the Transformers are all the way at the other end of the aisle. Like, it was really weird how my Walmart was putting stuff out.
That's how I found my Cheetor and Rhinox too. They were just in random spots as I was looking for the clearance part. I was like, I'll look at clearance before I leave. And then I was like, ooh, Cheetor, ooh, Rhinox, cool.
But yeah, they were scattered everywhere. But then like none of my Targets have anything. It seems Walmart just got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Target, I see a lot of the buzzworthy 3-packs around, which I was really happy with. I opened that up with Pablo, Bumblebee, and Nightbird. Was really happy with those toys, and I'm surprised that they put out a 3-pack in the buzzworthy Bumblebee line, like right off the bat, like 3 brand new figures. They haven't been packaged individually yet. Here you get them all.
Yeah. Well, and people were worried that they weren't going to be packaged individually. I was worried they weren't going to be packaged individually because I don't want Wheeljack and I don't want Nightbird. I just want Cheetor. But then since we've seen the individually packed Cheetor, I'm like, thank goodness I don't have to try to offload these onto somebody. Like all the other 4-packs and stuff like that. Except for those have actually been Anna offloading them on me. And not the other way around.
The theory is that these 3-packs, because there's going to be another one with Mirage, Bumblebee, and Airazor, that this is similar to the Cyberverse 3-pack, where it's just straight repackaging of Cheetor, Bumblebee, and Optimus in their deluxe sizes. And to me, what's telling about that is that in these 3-packs, you have 3 individual sets of instructions. When you have the other buzzworthy 4-packs, that's all one big instruction sheet for how to transform, Fangry and Nemesis Primal and all those dudes.
You guys are observant tonight, man.
Oh.
I
Well, and usually the
that.
exclusive ones they don't have the open window. They always have like a special like piece of art on the front.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, you guys are just putting it all together. I want to get us back on topic, talking about current toys, though.
Well, I mean, I think we're talking about the current, 3-pack of...
We are talking about the 3-pack.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the proper names for sizes earlier, and I want to make sure everyone knows that this is a Rise of the Beast, Movie Beasts, Alliance, Beast Weaponizers 2-pack figure. That's the name for it.
Yeah, have you searched any of these on, like, when you search these on Amazon, you get just the longest name.
That's the name on Amazon, yeah. It's hilarious. But look at this. Look at Primal. He can go to town. Ready to have back problems.
Wielding all of his friends as weapons.
Sorry, go back to talking now. I just had to be silly for a second.
Can we talk about the best figure?
Yes, please.
I have not opened mine.
I'm so interested in those.
Yeah.
I'm so interested in this mask.
These are obviously made for children, but as you saw, they fit my face more or less pretty well. I got a big face. Like I'm a 6 foot tall dude, and just my chin was hanging out. Now, if I turned my head, it was sticking off my head a little bit. But it works pretty well as a mask. Like it holds on my face. I can see out of it. It was starting to get a little hot. That's why I took it off. I also figured it probably sounded horrible talking through the mask. But this thing is like surprisingly really fun. It has more articulation than it ever needed to have. And like, I mean, we've had a bunch of roleplay stuff in the past, and I always felt the roleplay stuff was really stupid. There was no reason for us to buy it as collectors, like other than Rick, because Rick has a sickness. But the rest of us, there was never a reason to buy Optimus Prime Blaster that, turned into a truck to a blaster. Who gave a crap? But these masks that turn into robots, I don't know how the Bumblebee one is, but Primal is a lot of fun. You can pick his nose, which is great. I meant to do that while I had it on my face, but I forgot. So I got that in there. His boobs are on his forehead. So there's that. But like it's a whole lot of fun. Now the only problem I see with this is for it to be not just absolutely heavy, it's a lot of very thin pieces. Like they're not super thin, they don't feel cheap. Like there are whole ass figures that feel cheaper than this mask.
So that's got to be shatterproof.
Exactly, but it's the where it like pegs together are very nice clips, like they clip in, but part of me worries that those clips will eventually be a fault for the figure. All the hinges, where it's got it's got the pins, put through them. I feel like there's a potential for tearing there, just because it's not super thick. It's like I said, it doesn't feel like cheap plastic, but it's just not very thick. And over time, that stuff's just become brittle. But maybe not. It's nice. The elastic band is big enough for an adult head. It's nice. But yeah, I mean, this thing is genuinely fun. Like when you transform it, it's got elbows, it's got shoulders, it's got knees, it's got waist articulation, it's got ankles.
Dude,
it has ankle tilt, doesn't it? I'm looking at pictures of it. It has ankle tilt.
Do the
so you're saying it's
have
better
5
than
millimeter
MP
ports?
The fists have 5mm ports. It has 5mm ports in other spots. I think. Well, at least the fists do. So it can hold the weaponizers. I had him holding Rhinox at one point. A lot of the joints are very clicky. So he holds poses and everything well. The only thing that doesn't move is his head. His head doesn't turn for some reason. But everything else, there's nothing to complain about. It's a fun toy. It's got fun play in both modes. It's a good robot. It's kind of a weird looking robot. Like, I'm not going to say it's like the best robot that's ever existed, but that it turns into a role play mask. This thing is stupid fun. Like, if I was 10 years old, this would be the coolest thing that I was ever given. And that's kind of just how I feel about it.
And how much are those masks?
I'm gonna say those are like $30.
$35.
Yeah, it was.
30
I think it was
till
somewhere
35.
around 30. Yeah,
Okay.
I can't remember if it was 25 or 35. Which is a little pricey, but they're tall when they transform. Like they're
No, that's not small at all. Like that's at least
yeah.
a Voyager from what I've seen in pictures.
Oh, it's a tall leader class figure at the very least in Robot.
It's crazy how big it is.
But yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. I don't know if Bumblebee's is fun. I'm not going to buy Bumblebee.
He looks just good in pictures. Other than being Bartleby, I really.
But
hate
if they come
Bumblebee.
out with like, if they come out with a Cheetor or something like that, I 100% would buy more of these. I thought this was going to be really awful. When I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, I have to buy this stupid Optimus mask because it's Optimus Primal. And I'm going to have this funky thing on my shelf that I'm going to be like, I only own it because it's Optimus Primal. But I bought it and I started playing with it. I'm like, okay, this is actually really cool. Like, this is someone at Hasbro finally decided to do something right with role play toys. And that's how I feel about that.
What happens to the
cool.
elastic band when you transform it?
It's his chest kind of here. Because I can do this real fast.
There should be some kind of fan mode where it becomes like a bandolier or something. Like that thing like Worf wears in Star Trek.
Yeah.
You have to be very small.
His chest comes down. If I can get the stuff out of the way.
And so, what does the elastic band just fold up inside of his chest?
Yeah, so when it folds down, like the instructions actually just have it hanging out. But you can kind of just tuck it in behind the like nose guard.
That's impressive.
And then it's just back there, and then it kind of just these hang off the back, and it sort of just takes out the slack.
Look how big that is in my fool's hand. It's so big.
Yeah.
It's a really large toy.
Yeah, like for $30, that seems like a pretty good value. Oh, that's a ratchet right there if I ever heard one.
Those are his knees. His knees are very ratchety. He's got ratchets in the knees and the shoulders.
God, I think you're convincing me to get one of these, Michael, you monster. I did not expect this. Because when I saw the reveal, I was like, these look neat. I thought they were really cool. And then I heard the price and it was like, oh, it's not as cool. That's a little too expensive for my blood. But if it's that good, why not? Just
about every time I do an episode with Michael, I'm like, all right, here's a toy I didn't want to buy or was like on the fence on like, all right, he convinced me.
That is huge. It's going to be like that big.
I feel like that toy came out like 28 years too late.
Yes, that would have been really cool.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if I was in, if it was 1996, 1997, I was waking up at 6 a.m. watching Beast Wars every morning, and this thing came out, and I got it, I would have been like wearing this outside all the time. I would have been an even weirder kid than I was already. But And his whole entire back is just nostrils.
I got an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old, so I got a feeling I'm going to be grabbing one of each.
But
of
yeah,
those.
like
You got an excuse to get yourself one of those, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
That looks
he's
nice.
got
Oh, the
Wrist.
tourney red.
That may have won figure of the night.
The swivel of the wrist is important.
Oh, there we go.
his legs come off their own ball joints.
That's fine. Ball joints make it more like Beast Wars.
Yeah. All right, so Michael, it sounds like
Ball joints.
your figure of the line so far is this guy. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, Rick, what's
I like
your?
it
That's
better
really
than
cool.
I like it better than like these are. This is more fun. I'll probably grab this and play with this more than I touch the Studio Series figures
Wow.
that I have so far.
Yeah, so real quickly, we haven't really touched on that. The Studio Series stuff. We talked a little bit about the linebacker Cheetor. We talked about Air Razor looking a little more masculine than we expect. Scourge has not hit the shelves yet, right?
I don't think he's hit US shelves.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen pictures of him, but
So,
I'm not entirely sure.
Rick, what's been your favorite one so far that's come out?
So far, it's actually been this Optimus Prime Skull Cruncher figure because it just doesn't make sense to me, like from a marketing perspective. I'm gonna package an Autobot and a Predacon, Decepticon together. It's a Maximal and a Decepticon. I'm gonna package a Maximal and Decepticon together, and not put a bio on the back of it explaining why.
I told you, man.
It's a Beast Alliance. They're a lion.
But
They have a lion.
as Michael said, it is a very adequate toy line. And I think overall for Rise of the Beast, it's very kid accessible.
It is. And every once in a while, it is nice to, since this whole thing started for all of us when we were kids, it is sometimes nice just to mess with the figures that are more kids accessible. Because, like, my Masterpiece figures, I know would be hell for Child Me. Child Me was not that smart with her hands. It would not have happened. But these things would have been fun for Kid Me. I would have enjoyed themselves.
I'm dropping toys.
Poor toy. Can't get his head back out. Poor guy.
Well, guys, we've spent 90 minutes talking about Rise of the Yeast here, and the movie is still 2 months away. So
you didn't ask what my favorite toy of the night was.
I'm sorry.
Yes, the other
Out of
two.
the two that you have, I'm sorry. No, do you have 2 or 3? No, you got more than
I have
2. I thought you said you had
6.
2. Okay. You
I
said
have-
you had
I
only
have
2 in that size
2
class. That's right.
Beast Alliance, Beastie Dude, Beast.
Okay.
But 4 total Battle Masters. It's Ass Chainsaw, just so you know. Just had to make sure everyone
I
knew.
expected.
This is my favorite.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and I love it. It's so stupid.
I'm looking forward to Air Razor the most. Battle Trap and Scourge are kind of interesting looking to me for the Studio Series toys. So we'll see. Yeah. Yeah. So book club will probably take place this weekend, right? That'll be on the Discord. Anna, what do you guys talk about?
8:30.
Yeah. And actually, Michael and Anna, you guys are both very active in the Discord there. So it's not just Anna. What are we doing? And or having Zaldron yell at us from the chat.
Michael doesn't do the book club.
Okay.
He should. Book club's
Okay.
perfect. But
So
Michael's
yeah,
very behind on
next
all the
week-
reading at this point.
Next week, maybe Lucas will be back. I don't know. He'll be, arrested by the IRS. Who knows? But good luck on your taxes tonight, Lucas. And thanks for everyone for joining. Zaldron, Catherine, Ron. We'll apologize for some of the video issues we've been having tonight. And